When I first started Cedar Flats Flower Farm, I made a lot of mistakes. None of them were catastrophic, but if you are thinking about starting a flower farm or figuring out how to make money off of flowers, I would love for you to learn from my mistakes so that you don't make the same mistakes. First, I was trying to grow a ton of different varieties. I tried to grow everything. And this was back when I didn't even know how to say most of the names of flowers. I was trying to grow them all. And no surprise, I failed at a lot of them. I suppose that's one of those mistakes that's good to make, because then I learned what grows easily, and I learned a lot of timing lessons on when to grow things. Because certain flowers you do not start when it warms up. You start them when it cools down, and just lessons like that. As I kept growing, I started cutting out more and more varieties. In the U-pick especially, I learned that I don't necessarily have to grow what I like. I need to grow what the customers like. And that is dahlias for my customer base anyway. And so the U-pick now is mostly dahlias, ranunculus, just to make the season a little bit longer, and I can grow, ranunculus are ready in June here, May and June. But other than that, I really cut it back to dahlias as our main crop. The second mistake that I made, or want to talk about with you today, is I was trying to do everything possible to earn an income on these flowers, like everything. I was doing farmers markets, which take up a ton of time. They do get your name out there, so there's pros and cons to every stream of income for sure, but farmers markets take a ton of time. I took on wedding work, which when you're first starting out is really nerve-wracking because it's supposed to be perfect for weddings, and I didn't exactly know what I was doing. I tried bouquet classes. Super fun. I collaborated with a local brewery, and we had like bouquets and brews, and it was super fun. But again, it's just a lot of time went into it. And I've done bouquet subscriptions, and then the U-pick was another thing. And after a couple years of trying to do all of these different streams, I learned that that is not sustainable. And I have a different job. I'm a mom of young kids. I have a real job, I call it, as being a speech therapist, and trying to take on this, creating this full-time career out of flowers was just like ridiculous. I couldn't do it all. So that was a big mistake of thinking that I could try all of the revenue streams all at once. I would suggest trying a couple, figuring out what you actually like, and just dropping the others. Don't force it, just drop it until you have the capacity to take on more. And if you don't, that's fine. Just get really good at whatever route you want to go. So I chose the route of the U-pick. That's what I really went all in on. And the third mistake that I will talk about with you today is for the U-pick. I at first thought that I needed to have like a reservation, or I needed to be there to explain to people. And technically, when we first started, I was walking people to our backyard to pick sweet peas, which means I had to make sure the dogs were inside. I had to make sure that like I was there and watching for them to pull up into the driveway. And it was just, again, like it felt like I couldn't just have a passive income with flowers. It felt very hands-on, time-consuming, annoying. So if you're considering a U-pick, strongly suggest looking into a self-serve system. People ask all the time, do people cut flowers without paying or stealing from the property? Knock on wood, we have not had a problem at all at our property. And the great thing about flowers being the product is that once somebody cuts them and takes them, another flower will just pop up. And so, I mean, I'm sure I've had a few people maybe not pay for stems of flowers, but it's a renewable resource for me, so it's not a huge deal. If I had products that I was trying to also sell at the stand, like honey or t-shirts, and those things started disappearing, then that'd be a problem because there's some overhead there. But people are very gracious here, and it's right in my driveway, and I don't know, it's just a good vibe to come cut flowers. And so the self-serve honor system has really been helpful. We mainly accept Venmo. We do have cash, but people really prefer Venmo or PayPal, and they will also sometimes buy tickets online at our website ahead of time. So there's never really like a concern with cash, and yeah, people are just really great. All right, mistake number 4. This one's a little bit sneaky, but at first I was really comparing myself to the big names on social media. I would see how perfect their farm looked. I would see how many followers they had, and their like adorable flower shed, and how they have a brand with stickers and t-shirts, and it's these huge operations, as I fling myself, which are fantastic and great for them. But if you're just starting out, it can feel really depressing to think of like, oh, I'm just growing on this small area. I don't have a ton of money to put into this. It doesn't look pretty. There's weeds everywhere, right? And looking at social media, you can easily convince yourself that you're not doing it right. And it's better to just do it than to do it right, like do it the way everybody else is doing. I would strongly suggest just going for it. And on that note, the last mistake that I will talk about today is thinking that I needed to be the expert. I literally started out planting flowers when I did not know flowers at all. I couldn't say, calendula? Did you know you say calendula? Yeah, I was calling it calendula. I probably still pronounce certain flowers the wrong way. I'm kind of on the fence of whether it's bouquet or bouquet. I'd love to hear what you comment below. Is it bouquet or bouquet? What you prefer. But truly, looking back now, it's just great that I tried and I started with what little knowledge I had. There's so many lessons that I've learned through mistakes or through success that I wouldn't have been able to learn by watching someone else and like feeling like I was ready. I had to make those mistakes. I had to go through it. And the only way to become an expert is to continue learning and continue experimenting, and just the more experience you get, right? I would never call myself an expert on any of this stuff, but I know a thing or two, and I've made a lot of mistakes. And again, I just want to help you not make those same mistakes. So anyway, those are the 5 mistakes here at Cedar Flats Flower Farm that I have made. I'd love to hear what mistakes you have made, as well as any triumphs or things that you've learned along the way that you're happy you made those mistakes and failed.